You know, when you're typing something repetitive on your computer and you finally discover the keyboard shortcut for it.
Oh yeah, best feeling.
Right. Suddenly this, clunky, multi-step process becomes just a single, satisfying keystroke. Well, language actually does the exact same thing with human emotion.
It really does.
So for today's deep dive, our sources are exploring this whole world of untranslatable words, meaning words that belong so completely to one language that there is just no single English equivalent for them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because instead of assuming other cultures are just out there feeling, I don't know, exotic or alien emotions that we can't comprehend, linguists suggest something much more practical.
Okay, like what?
Well, that cultures simply found it efficient to compress highly specific recurring situations into a single token. It's basically a linguistic shortcut.
Right. What those shortcuts are tells you exactly what a society values, or even like what it literally needs to survive.
Precisely. I mean, you see these stark geographical priorities in the sources. Take northern cold climate cultures, right?
Yeah, like we've all heard of the Danish word hygge by now.
Exactly, hygge. The candles, the cozy blankets, the warm togetherness. But linguists argue that word didn't survive just because the Danish happened to like comfort.
Wait, really? Why then?
It actually evolved as this efficient psychological shield against brutal, dark winters and seasonal depression.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's quite literally a survival mechanism encoded directly into their vocabulary.
That makes so much sense. I mean, it kind of elevates it from just a cute design trend to a literal coping strategy.
Right, totally.
And then, if you contrast that freezing environment with Latin and Mediterranean cultures, the sources highlight the Spanish word sobremesa.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, which is basically the time spent lingering at the table, just talking long after a meal's actually finished.
Yeah, and it's not just about, liking a chat. Historically, it actually stems from the sheer heat of the day and agricultural rhythms where you literally couldn't go back out to work immediately.
So the environment dictates the behavior, and then the language just codifies it.
Exactly. But, it's not always about harsh weather or climate.
Yeah.
Sometimes a culture just needs a shortcut for incredibly specific social quirks.
Which totally explains some of the funniest ones in the research, like gigil from the Philippines.
Oh yeah, that one's great.
It's that overwhelming urge to just squeeze or pinch something because it is unbearably cute.
We've all felt that.
Right.
Right.
Or there's tingo from the Rapa Nui language, which apparently means to gradually borrow objects from a friend until absolutely nothing remains.
That one is wild. I mean, the fact that Tingo needed its own dedicated word implies they had some seriously boundary-pushing neighbors.
Seriously.
And beyond social coordination, these words encode massive philosophical frameworks, too.
Oh, like what?
Well, in East Asia, Japanese gives us wabi-sabi, which is finding beauty in imperfection and impermanence.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a random aesthetic choice. It evolved deeply intertwined with Zen Buddhism and, historical periods of resource scarcity. It essentially taught people to value the flawed and the weathered over the pristine.
See, wait, I struggle with this, though.
How so?
Because, well, if I don't have a specific English word for, say, the German concept of fernweh.
Which is that ache for distant, unseen places, right?
Exactly. Basically the total opposite of homesickness.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a word for it, does that mean I'm physically incapable of feeling it?
No, not at all.
Or what about that Yagan word, mamihlapinatapai, that shared wordless look between two people who both want to initiate something but are just terrified to make the first move?
Right.
Are we saying English speakers are emotionally stunted just because that's not in our dictionary?
No, and linguists are extremely careful not to romanticize this. Translation theorists argue that nothing is strictly untranslatable.
Because we just explained those exact concepts to the listener in English, right?
Exactly, we just did it. It is simply, quote-unquote, uneconomical to translate them.
Meaning, like, it takes me 15 clunky words to say what they can fire off in just one.
Precisely. The value isn't that they possess some secret emotion we don't. It's that lexicalizing a feeling, giving it a distinct name, it reduces the friction of accessing it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, when something is economical to say, it becomes easier to queue up, to share with others, and to really dwell on psychologically.
So basically, by not having the word, the feeling kind of just remains this fleeting, fuzzy vibe,
Yeah.
rather than a concrete concept we can consciously pursue.
That is the real takeaway for anyone listening to this deep dive. Language is not just a neutral container for your thoughts. It is a shaping force.
It biases your attention.
Exactly, toward what you can name quickly. But here's the really exciting part. By borrowing words like hygge or sobremesa into English, you are actually importing a new sensitivity into your own brain.
Oh, I love that.
Right. Once you know the word, your cognitive radar turns on. You notice the feeling more, and you can deliberately cultivate it.
Because what we can easily say shapes what we easily notice. By giving a complex human experience a name, you bring it into focus.
It truly is the ultimate keyboard shortcut for navigating life. Language builds the scaffolding for our attention.
It really does. So to wrap up, we want to leave you with a little thought to mull over as you go about your day.
Definitely.
Think about your own daily routine, your own unique quirks or frustrations. If you had to invent a brand new single word for a highly specific, unnamed feeling or recurring situation in your own life, what would you name it?